Welcome to this deep hip opening flow. Lots of hip openers, few balancing poses are included, and our peak pose are variations of leg behind the head. So this is an advanced intermediate practice, and you should have lots of experience in yoga to attempt this. Otherwise, you can do everything else, just skip the leg behind the head. Stand up nice and tall, Tadasana pose. Roll your shoulders up and back, away from the ears. And let's inhale, lift up your arms, stretch up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, hands to your side. Again, inhale, big inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands to the side. Now, let's place the right leg over the left. Bend your left leg a little bit and come into a nice first hip opener and balancing pose. Breathe and slowly come out, maybe without placing the right foot down. Come into tree pose. Lift up your arms if you can, or leave them in front of your heart. Arms down, and you stretch the left leg, left arm in front, right arm back. Stay really square with your lower body. And then if you're ready, come into dancer's pose. Now you can do the variation without going down and just holding the leg, or coming into dancer's pose. Breathe, focus. Come out of the pose, maybe without placing the foot down, and then very controlled, place that foot down. Take a breath. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So lift up your arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your side. Again, lift up your arms, stretch up, focus. Exhale, hands to your side. One more time. Inhale. Lift up your ribs, lift up your heart. Exhale, hands to your side. Bend the left leg over the right. Flex that foot and try to keep it back straight back and engage your core. Draw in your belly button. Deep breaths. From here, without putting the leg down, preferably come into tree pose. If you're ready for it, lift up your arms. Breathing deeply. Arms come to your side, and then the right arm comes in front, left arm back, and keep your body really squared to the front. This prepares you for dancer's pose. Now come into dancer's pose, preferably without setting the foot down. Really focus. You can do this. Right away in this practice, focus, balance, open up your body, and then come out very controlled if you can. Let's have our feet hip distance apart, a little bit wider maybe. Feet are pointing a little bit outward, same direction as your knees, and come into Malasana. Draw in Mula Bandha. Your pelvic area lifted up, core is engaged. With your elbows, you open up the feet a little bit wider. And then try to twist open. Left arm comes up. Maybe binds behind the right leg. But if that's too deep, just come into the easy twisted version. And then come to the other side. So right hand lifts up. Stay here. Or bind behind the left knee. Maybe look up. Breathing deeply. Then come out of the pose, hands on the floor, and come into a forward fold. Grab opposite elbows and just hang here. Draw on your belly, maybe bend your knees just a little bit. Try to relax your upper back. And then come into preparation pose and come into Padangusthasana, grab your toes and forward fold. Say yes, no, maybe with your neck, loosening up any tensions. Draw on your belly button and maybe straighten out your leg a little bit more. Preparation pose. And lift up your arms, legs together, and hands to your side, Tadasana. And then grab that right leg and cradle it in front of your chest. And then maybe put it in half, Padmasana. Grab that toe, binding behind your back, and come into Ardha Baddha Padmuttanasana. Try to square out and level out your shoulders. Draw in your belly. Relax. Really make room in your pelvic area. Then lift up. Slowly rise up. Not placing the foot down yet. Keep it in half lotus pose. And then controlled set it down. Let's do the other side. Take a deep breath. And then first cradle your leg a little bit into your chest. So you open up the hip a little bit more. Then come into half lotus pose. And then into Ardha Baddha Padmuttanasana. With the left leg. Forward folding, draw on your belly. Deep breathing. Hold the pose, not your breath. Let the breath flow. Calming down everything through your breath. And then come slowly out of the pose. Keep the half lotus. And as controlled as you can, set down your arm. And lift up your arms again. Inhale. Exhale. Forward fold. Step back with the right leg. Open up the hip flexor. Lift up your arm if you're ready. Look up if you can. And then placing your hand down. And moving the left leg into an open hip pigeon pose. Forward fold if you can. You can place down your elbows or lay down all the way. Let go. Relax. Breathing deeply. Then slowly rise up. With the right arm, you may be able to grab the right foot. You can hold it here. Get it into your elbow crease. Or just grab that leg and just forward fold again. Really opening up the quad, the hip flexor. Make sure your hips are leveled and to the front. Now come up into mermaid pose. If that is available to you, you can bind up top like I'm doing. If that's too much, you can bind in front of your chest. And then slowly come out of the pose into an easy twist to the right side. Keep your back straight, just an easy twist. Nothing fancy here. Take a rest. And then come out of the pose into fire log pose. The right leg is on top of the left leg. If that's too deep for you, you can have one leg in front of the other. Maybe come onto the elbows, maybe lay down all the way, but stay where it feels comfortable and good to you. I like to stay lifted and keep my back as straight as I can. Then come out of the pose, placing the right leg back into pigeon pose again. Tight pigeon, open up your back, lift up, and then come into a high lunge. Placing both feet back into plank. Placing your knees down and rolling through into a cobra. Just stay here in a cobra pose. And then come into a downward facing dog. Nice and easy. We are still warming up the body. Look forward and step the right leg forward again. And come into the low lunge, arms lifted if you can. Breathe. And placing your hands down on the floor and come into the pigeon pose. Open up if you can into an open pigeon pose. Look up, lift up. And then maybe placing your elbows down or laying flat all the way down. See what feels good to you. Don't push your body too fast, too soon, too hard. Try to be relaxed and have fun with it. Breathing. Then rise up, make the pigeon a little tighter, grab that left foot and open up that quad really deeply and the hip flexor. I even feel it in my shoulder. It actually helps me to open up my shoulder. Come up, maybe have that leg in the crease of your elbow and bind in mermaid pose on top or on the bottom in front of your chest, however you like. Breathing. And then slowly come out of the pose and come into an easy twist, twisting to the left. Your back is straight, finding lots of length, and then relax into the twist. Come out of the pose and into fire log pose. This time we have the left leg on top of the right or in front of the right if fire log pose is too deep for you. I like to do almost like a Sphinx pose in this pose, so I'm staying on the elbow and really pushing my upper body forward, drawing in my belly. Relax. Then come out of the pose, cross your legs and step into a plank pose. Move through an 8-point vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or forehead. Glide through into cobra. And then into shalabhasana, having the hands behind your head, behind your back interlaced. And then finding lots of length. It's about length, not height. So straightening out your legs all the way as far, stretching them out as you can. And then place your hands down underneath your shoulder again. Lift up into a plank and into a downward facing dog. Lots of arm strength here. Breathe. Walk your dog. Just opening up your calf muscles a little bit. Releasing, relaxing, maybe bending both knees and really finding lots of length in your back. And then I shift my weight forward all the way into my arms and back. and step with the right leg in front, high lunge. My arms are lifted. You can keep them in front of your heart. And then come straight away into a warrior 2. And into a peaceful warrior. Nice side body bend. And then flow through. Come into a high lunge still, but a little bit lower. Plank and move through chaturanga. This time it's an upward facing dog if you're ready for it, and into a downward facing dog. The left leg steps forward, high lunge, arms raised up. Open up into warrior 2. Keeping your hips square, and then into a peaceful warrior, nice side bend. Come out of the pose, placing your hands down on the floor. Lunge. Maybe sway back forth a little bit, back and forth, and then step forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your arms. Exhale, hands to your side. Come into chair pose. Lift up your arms here. Keep your core engaged. And then sit lower, very controlled, until you sit down all the way, maybe without your arms, and come into boat pose, Savasana. If you can, straight away with straight legs, otherwise bend your knees. Look up. Keep your back as straight as you can. And then let's come into a low boat, and then placing yourself onto the floor. Relax here for a second, and I'm going to have my right leg cradled into my chest like a baby. Just hug your knee in, and you can keep the left leg extended or the foot on the floor, which is a little bit easier. I like to point my toe actually here and just release and relax into a really, really deep hip opener. And this, if you cannot do leg behind the head, this is also a preparation version that you can repeat when we do leg behind the head. So this time I'm gonna have my right foot to my right ear, and I place my left toe down, my foot, so it's a little bit more accessible. Let your knee fall out to the side and relax. Then place down your head again, and then I'm gonna come into like a half baby pose, where I'm just extending my leg out to the side a little bit. And then straightening out my leg. I'm going to roll my ankle a few times in one direction, in the other. Straighten out my left leg straight, just opening up my calf, my hamstring a little bit more. Point and flex my toes a few times. Grab onto my toe with right arm, grabbing right toe, and then opening up my leg to the side into Supta Padangustasana. Relax your shoulders. Point that left toe, and then slowly come up again. And lift up using your core. And this time I'm lifting actually my left leg off the floor, and I'm holding it here with my core. And then hug in the same leg again towards the ear, and this time I'm placing my left leg on the floor. Again, having it to the ear and straightening it out, and then I attempt leg behind the head. If it is too much, stay with the preparation poses that we just done. So first of all, relax into the pose. Just try to release, find that right spot behind your neck. Release and relax your neck. And feel free to keep the hand on the leg all the time to support your neck a little bit further. Now I'm going to bend my left knee into my chest and then straightening it out my leg. And then maybe you can release your hands from the foot that is behind your head and draw in the left leg into your body. Try to keep your tailbone on the floor. Now I'm going to lower the leg, flex and point my toe and lift it back up. It's almost like a ab exercise. Lower the left leg and lift it up. Lower the left leg and lift it up, and then swing up, and maybe you sit up right with the leg behind your head. I'm adjusting the pose a little bit and having my hands in front of my heart. Release, relax, and then maybe it's time to forward fold, and I'm supporting my right leg with the left elbow. I'm keeping my hand on my foot. You can feel free to let go of that foot, but I'm supporting actually my neck here a little bit more. Sit up again if you're ready, hands in front of your heart, maybe without supporting that leg. And then slowly come into compass pose. Breathe. Keeping your back straight. Point your left toe. Slowly come out of the pose, placing the right leg onto your shoulder and then let go. Engage your core again and very slowly come into a laying down position, really using your core. We're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So grab on to your left leg, cradle it into your chest. Right leg is pointing out, or you can place your foot down, which is a little bit easier. Just relax into it. Try to release and find the relaxation. Even though you are maybe feeling tension, try to relax. Deep breaths. The deeper you can breathe, the more you're going to relax. Now placing your foot down, it's the right foot, and having the left foot to your ear. Lifting my head here, so it's coming both ways. Lifting my head and drawing that leg more towards my ear. Letting the knee fall out to the side. Relax, hug that leg in front of your chest again, and then come into a little bit of a half child's pose. Baby pose, happy baby pose. And draw it into your chest. Half happy baby pose and draw the leg towards your ear. Hold it here. Let go and straighten out your left leg. Maybe rolling out your ankle in one direction and the other direction for a few times. The right leg can straighten out if you feel comfortable with it. And then point and flex your left toe. Hold the pose. And come into Supta Padangusthasana. Opening up that left leg to the side. And don't lose attention to the right leg. The toes are pointed and staying on the floor. Don't let that foot flop to the side. Come up again, stretch out that leg and hold it with the core. Lift up the right leg off the floor and hold it. Lift up the upper body towards that knee. Breathe and hold and relax down. Hug the left leg into your chest again. Placing the right foot onto the floor, straightening out that leg and have it towards your ear. We're talking about the left leg now. Straightening it and draw it towards your left ear. And then maybe you're ready to attempt leg behind the head. If not, stay in the preparation poses. No shame about it. I don't feel like leg behind the head every day. So try to find a good place for your neck, for your foot, and support your leg with the other arm. That helps your neck muscles. Maybe you're ready to draw in your right knee into your chest. And maybe straightening out that right leg. Try to keep your tailbone onto the floor. Breathe. And then use your core. Let that right leg come towards the floor. Maybe not all the way, maybe it's too much. But come down with it and then lift it up with your core muscles again. This is a drill. Let it come down towards the floor and lift it back up, and then swing up if you can and come into a seated position with the leg behind the head. You can keep your hand on the foot to support your neck a little bit. Point your left toe now. Breathe, relax, and stay here, and maybe forward fold. You can see now the easiest version where I'm holding that foot and also supporting it with my left arm a little bit. Or maybe you can let go and forward fold all the way. See what feels good to you today, and one side might feel differently than the other. Lift up your body again. Stay just a little bit longer. And from here, come into the compass pose. Breathe and relax. And still keep your back straight, belly button drawn in. Keep a smile on your face, maybe. Forgive yourself for maybe not coming as deep as you would like to. And then slowly come out of the pose. Come back into Savasana. This time I'm doing the bent-legged version. Engaging your core here. Now I'm straightening up my back. So you choose whatever you feel like. Try to lift yourself out of that back. Shoulders away from the ears, and then cross your legs, step or hop back, and come through Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, nice and slow, enjoy it. Look over one shoulder, maybe over the other shoulder. Come to the middle again, and draw back into a child's pose. Come on the fingertips, make your back long, and then come into a downward facing dog. Again, move forward into plank. And slowly placing yourself down, come again into an upward facing dog. Back into child's pose with coming on the fingertips with extended arms. And to a downward facing dog from here. Breathe. Finding lots of length in your back. Look forward and step or hop forward, crossing your legs, straightening them out in front of you. And then very slowly vertebrate by vertebrate. Place your upper body down, but super, super slow, really engaging your core here. Still not on the floor. Still on the way, and now I'm down. Exhale everything through your mouth. Let everything go. And then I do just legs lifted into the sky. And then placing the left leg down, right leg is lifted. And I'm engaging my core here, scissoring my legs. One leg, right leg lifts. The other one is not all the way on the floor. It stays in the air. And then I switch. My upper body is nicely off the ground. And switch. And switch. Really using your core, drawing in your belly button, breathing. And then having my feet into the air again. Draw on your right leg. The knee into your armpit, the right knee. And then let's come into a laying down twist. Breathe and let go. Relax and release. We've done a lot of work. Now it's time to enjoy the benefits of the practice and relax. Slowly come out of the pose. Come into a laying down tree pose with the right leg tight into your inner thigh and your arms extended up. And release. Draw in your left leg. Right leg is extended. And placing the knee into your armpit. We're talking about the left knee now. And then place it across your body into a nice laying down side twist. Relax and release. Stay a little longer. And then slowly placing that left foot into the tree pose, so onto the inner thigh, and stretching out your arms overhead. Make yourself nice and long. Come slowly out of the pose and come into Uttanasana, drawing in both knees into your chest, maybe wiggling from side to side. One more deep breath. Exhale, letting everything go. And then windshield wipe your legs, maybe from side to side. One more time, maybe it cracks your back, as it did mine. And really try to lift up your hip a little bit, windshield wiping, and then making your face really tight and relaxing your neck from side to side. Come into Savasana, letting everything go. Finding the peace after these difficult poses. And maybe you had to forgive your body, yourself. Maybe your expectations were different. Be kind to yourself. And pray with me this prayer. God, help me love the life I live right now. Show me the good things I often overlook, and help me to be content with what I have. Forgive me when I compare myself to others. Forgive me for longing for things outside of you and your kingdom. Thank you for loving me right where I am, right as I am. Help me to keep my eyes on you. In Jesus' name, Amen. And it's time to stretch yourself out again, drawing the knees slowly into your chest. Come to the here and now. And then rolling to one side, lift yourself up into a seated position, one leg in front of the other. And have the chest isolation movement. Big rolls into your chest, and then make the movement from small to big, including the hips, making the circles really big, rounding your back on the way back and keeping the straight back in front. One more big roll, and stay on the right elbow or hand and come into a side body stretch. Then place your hand down and come into a neck stretch. Switching sides and rolls, go into the other direction. Rolling at first only the chest. Backwards and forwards. And once you're ready, make those circles really big, keeping your back straight in front and rounding your back when you go back. Front and back. Combine it with your breath, really deeply stretching, loosening up everything. Stay onto the left hand and stretch your side body stretch. Both glutes stay on the floor. And then do the next stretch. Come to the middle. And I thank you so much for practicing with me. Lift up your arms one more time. Lift everything up and exhale, hands to your side. Lift up your arms all the way up to the sky. And hands to your side. Let's do this one more time. Lift up your arms. Lift everything up. And once you're ready, exhale, hands to your side. Like this video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you next time again. God bless you.